The statistics of the Russian army losses on the territory of Ukraine are being updated daily. According to the General Staff, the number has already exceeded 48,000. Russia has been losing on average 250 troops every day since the beginning of the full-scale war. These data are carefully hidden in the Kremlin, but the occupying troops observe themselves a huge number of killed every day.
There are 100 conscientious objectors here, everyone who comes from there, and no one has the right to condemn. Who would want to trouble like that for the second time?
In telephone conversations intercepted by the main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, commanders complain about the lack of soldiers. They say that replenishment is not enough, and those who were able to survive after the battles try to return home under any pretext.
We've got conscientious objectors.
Conscientious objectors? What do you mean?
Who doesn't want to be here anymore. They will be sent back to Russia.
To Russia?
Yeah, I'll find out. If there is no felony, I will be back.
Why do you want to back out?
I want to go home.
Complaints of the Russian military about the lack of equipment, normal food and modern weapons are being increasingly published on social networks. There are also those who are dissatisfied with the training of personnel and the lack of a specific plan of military operations.
Human resources are just consumables. They use them simply as cannon fodder. In what mean? They throw them into hill and watch whether the artillery destroys defenses, where the Ukrainian soldiers are shooting from. Yes, right, left. They pour artillery there again and throw cannon fodder again, checking the positions of our soldiers one more time. Therefore, groups of them are being killed.
Over the past 6 months, almost 2,000 servicemen have refused to go on the war against Ukraine. Such data is provided by Verstka publication. The main reason for the desertion is the huge losses due to accurate strikes by the Ukrainian artillery. But many servicemen are not allowed to go home just like that. Some of them are sent to a camp as traitors of the motherland.
The pits were not far from Perevalsk, some kind of a room, kind of a huge basement. Among us it was called pits. We met guys at the rigging work. They said that they were beaten there by people in masks, being forced to agree to return to the front line. This is from their words I convey. We did not see those who refused to go back there after the basement, but those who agreed to further service, we saw them at work. Andrei Silkov, Russian contract conscientious objector, in an interview with Media Zona.
Former Russian paratrooper Pavel Filantyev is now a political refugee because after participating in the war with Ukraine, he wrote a book and condemned the actions of the Russian army in it. Now he lives in France and tells why the Russians massively refuse to fight.
Most people in the army are unhappy about what's going on there. They are unhappy about the government and their commanders. They are unhappy with Putin and his politics. They are unhappy with the Minister of Defense, who has never served in the army. Pavel Filatyev, former Russian soldier, in an interview with The Guardian.
But despite the criminal liability and the risk of getting a real sentence of up to 7 years, or ending up in a camp on the territory of the so-called Donetsk People Republic and being subjected to violence there are still more and more people who refuse to fight in the war in Ukraine. Many of them are no longer even attracted by the large payments that they are promised in exchange for signing a contract and going to the front line. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Natalia Husak, UATV News.